Before reinventing something, you need to accumulate yourself with enough knowledge about the things you want to reinvent. That is the biggest issue with today wannabe dance inventors. I do agree with you to a certain extent, but at the same time, like I said, some people become dance inventors or instructors without knowing, not because they don't want to know. Sometimes it's just because there's no information out there. There's no repository of information. If you want to talk about classical music or classical dancing, you can find so many books. If you want to talk about hip hop even, you can find documentaries about how it started, this, that, different names of the different groups, the who invented what, etc. When it comes to kizomba, it's a nebula. You don't have a real, you're gonna go to these people, they will start telling you names. Oh, yo, this Eduardo Paim, this guy, that, but nobody can tell you, okay, how the dance moves. I understand the music, these things, but the dance move, who and what it came from. Why is it 1 2 3 and not 1 2 1 2? Who can tell me this? Who is it? Is it because of salsa? Was it somebody who? Okay, like, how? Me, I know that at a point, yeah, kompa was big in the 70s, the 60s in Angola. This is something that I know. Tabu combo went there. Tabu combo is like Kassav in kompa. At a point, they were going there. Kassav was going there in Africa at a point. But the information is, I'm not saying it's nowhere to be found, but nobody went and asked. Nobody went and did this job of journalism and being like, okay, let me ask Kassav. Let me ask like, okay, the dance, where it comes from. Let me ask a few people and then see the information, look at the dates, and do a real research work. Like, nobody is doing this. Everybody is just complaining and saying this is not the right way, this is the wrong way. Those are the one who have the right, the others are not. I decide that, and this is where I disagree with you. I believe that it's, if you are in Odessa in Ukraine and you see something on YouTube that you love it so much that you start, and that's the only information you find, and you are 15 years old right now, I don't think the first thing in your mind is, oh, let me inform myself and all these things. The first thing that comes to your mind is passion. Is, I want to dance it because it makes me happy. I want to dance it because it makes me feel good, or it makes me forget my day to day. So I'm going to go dance, and I'm going to go dance and dance and dance. And maybe some friend will be like, oh, this is nice. How do you dance that? Oh, just like this. Oh, wow. You should start a school. A dance school? You crazy? And then you dance. And then at a point, enough people tell you, hey, I would pay for you to teach me. And then you become an instructor. And when they ask you how you learn, you're like, oh, I watch a bunch of videos on YouTube. Because we are in 2020, that's how people learn. I don't read books, but hey, sometimes I need information about stuff. I learn the way you say, but I'm 47. If I was 20 years old, I would be like all the people from 20 years old. They learn online, they have their news on Twitter, and they forget everything after 7 days. That's the generation of today. That's the subject that I was trying to do, but I will do, which is, this is why I call this show today the Goldfish. People are so different from us, and we cannot just criticize it. We have to understand why they're different. We grew up without telephones, without YouTubes. I grew up, I had 6 channels. I grew up with 3, and then I had 6 TV channels. So what was on these 6 channels was the truth. Today, I have unlimited access to unlimited knowledge from everywhere, and unlimited information and disinformation from all around the world. And because I come from before, I know how to check my facts and stuff. And I love to check my facts. But somebody who's 22 today doesn't care about all the things you're talking about. learning about and the knowledge. They don't care. They want to dance. They want to dance. They come. Oh, I love this dance. What is this? Oh, it's called kizomba. Okay, and they're dancing urban kids. They're doing whatever moves. And if you are somebody who's been dancing kizomba forever, you arrive in Ukraine and you're like, what the fuck are they doing? And they look at you like, what you want, old person? Yeah, that's how we dance here. And if you go to Brazil, go to a zouk party, you'll see. You're gonna see everybody like, oh wait. Before I continue this conversation, hey Ndella, what up, Dalia? I'm not 100%, but Philippe Montero shifted the market for sure in the 90s. Oof. 100% agree with you. Listen, the documentary I'm planning to do maybe in 2022 or 2023 is not going to be a 4-part. It's going to be a 10-part easily, because I want to talk about the movement of the slaves and what they brought with them to the different islands, because the same people who came from in the island of Santo Domingo, on one space they became Santo Domingo, and on the other space they became Haiti, and they were influenced by French music to become meringue up to kompa, and by Spanish music to become rumba, etc., and meringue. So that's the interesting thing, because those are the same group of people, depending if they were on a French boat or on a Spanish boat, they would end up in Santo Domingo or Haiti. And they both came with the same religion and same dance, which were voodoo. And then, because generation after generation, some of them start speaking Spanish and only Spanish, and some of them start mixing with their masters and become the mestizos, and some others become the Haitians, and they did the revolution, and then they become the first Black Republic, and then etc. So that's episode 1. Episode 2 would be kompa, all the things about kompa. Episode 3 would be from kompa to zouk and mazurka and begin and woka, like the tradition of the French West Indies, Martinique, Guadeloupe, and that would be one episode. Episode 4 would be zouk R&B, Jean-Michel Rotin, Ali Angel, Théorème, Nichols, and then in the end, the rise of Kaysha. So Kaysha, the bridge between zouk and kizomba and candy zouk, etc. Episode, I'm at 4, right? Episode 5 would be kizomba. Kizomba, from where, how, and we would go back to the beginning. We would go back to Angola. We would go back to the Congolese people running away from the war, and one of them, Eduardo Paim, becoming the father of kizomba to the eyes of the Angolans. How, where he came from, how did he, etc., who inspired him, where did he, all these things. So that's conversation with him, conversation with people from Angola, traveling there, learning like the language, the thing, and going back to the history of the fact that all this was the Kingdom of Congo. A big part of Angola was Congo Kingdom, especially in the north, Cabinda, all these places, all this Cameroon, Congo, the two Congos, Angola, Gabon, all this was the Congo Kingdom. And if you want to go even further, this is Bantu territory. But all this is a lot of information, a lot of, I'm just talking from my head right now. Maybe I'm saying some mistakes, but it's a big conversation about how all these people at a point they get taken from their land, and then they are sent. This a lot of people from Senegal, but they came from Sierra Leone, from Congo, from other places. Then they arrive in Haiti, they arrive in Senegal. The Portuguese take them to a group of island where there's nobody. They create the Capverdians. So all these people, so they come. What is their culture? When does their culture come from? See, it's because they are a people created by the Portuguese Empire at that time. So they are directly a mix of what they came from in Africa, plus the fact that the Portuguese, in compared to the French, were different. The Portuguese, they love to mix with their people. So that's how you have the Brazilians, a lot of them are mixed, and then you have the Cape Verdean. All of them are a mixture of African and Portuguese. So the music that comes from this, where does the Morna come from? Where does the Coladera come from? Who inspired Splash? Who inspired those groups? And when you listen to all their music, all of them, you can hear Kassav. So now you have to mix everything together. So you could do a whole episode about Kassav. Then you can have a whole episode about what's happening in Cape Verde and all the different genres, and how Passada becomes something at a point, and why Passada in France is called Cabo Zouk, because at a point everybody was calling everything Zouk. And then you can arrive at a point to talk about the dance. You can talk about the festivals. You can interviews with Olga, with Nicolette, with all these people, with João, all these, talk about the different festival everywhere. How you discover kizomba, and then you can start explaining the dance, and because me personally, I can dance zouk on everything. So all this is a great conversation, and then after that, then you can talk about the future. You can look at what is kizomba becoming? Why is urban keys the new thing right now? What is douceur? What is this? What is that? And you can, and even in terms of artists, you can go to generation 1, 2, 3, 4, Ciquato Pedro. Then when the Angolans started really going from doing a lot of reggaeton to now embracing kizomba, because there was a point where they were really into hip hop, R&B, and then at a point with Anselmo, Undoish, and then you can talk about the new generation, Eduardo Domingo, Rui Orlando, etc. You can do easy. I can do 12 episodes, come to Netflix and say, give me 2 millions. Give me 2 millions, and there you go. I have your pitch, and show them there's a million person taking flights all around the world to go dance in the Kizomba Festival right now. I mean, not right now with the pandemic, but that's a great documentary about so many things that are seemingly from so many places, but actually are just one big, and you can trace all these back down to the Kingdom of Congo, and all these regions, and the East Africa, and the Bantu people. So that's amazing, because then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, in the beginning I was like, hey, am I the one? Should I? And then, oh wait, oh, Bantu, yep,